it's Jerry, aka Constant Flow, your coach. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having an amazing day today. I had an experience some years ago and I thought I'd share it with you. It's about 7 years ago, and everything that I knew to be normal for me during that time was shifting. Work wise, I was being shifted. Um, with regard to location, I was shifting. Everything that caused me some sort of comfort, some level of comfort. I don't think I was ever comfortable, but anything that was was causing me to feel comfortable during that time, the little bit of comfort was just being pulled from under me. The biggest thing for me, I started asking some of the big questions. And when I say the big questions, it was no longer it was no longer satisfying to rest on beliefs that had just been handed down to me. And I wanted to be certain that I was holding to something that even made sense. So I started questioning. A big part for me was religion. I was very active in church, and I started questioning um, whether the way I had been living was for me, and wording it very nicely now. But back then, I remember praying and I remember saying, God, I don't care if I find out you're a dog. That's how desperate I was. I just wanted to sense and experience that connection that I had been taught about all my life, but I wasn't feeling it. And that question led me down a path that opened up Pandora's box and caused me to say, okay, it's a lot of information. I don't know what to do with this. I don't know where it's leading me, but I wanted a sign at the time because everything was just so new, and I knew based on what I was receiving that I would eventually be called to make a decision. And when your normal is shifting, and when everything that once identified you is taken away from you, and nobody took anything away from me, but the awareness itself brought me to a point where I realized that the very things that I used to describe me, the very labels that sought to identify me, were no longer a thing. And I remember one day I was going to church and I prayed. I prayed. I was crying and I prayed and I said, I don't know if this is real. I'm praying in my mind because back then, they say, the devil could hear stuff. So I was crying and agonizing with this in my mind. And I said, I don't care where this leads. I just need a sign that I'm going down the right path. And I remember I walked into church that day and an old lady walked up to me, very nice, cute lady. I remember, I could see her right now. And she walked up to me and she said, Hey, honey, how are you doing? And, I put my happy smile on because that's what you do. Everybody looks so happy and chirpy, right? I was just crying a while ago, but here I am. I'm fine. How are you? So I walked in and she handed me this. And I said, What's that? And she said, Oh, honey, it's mustard seed. She said, It's not full, but that's all you need. Actually, you just need one. That's how big your faith needs to be, and it's going to grow. And it's been 7 years. I still have this jar because it meant so much to me. That was my sign. That was my sign. Some people may say it's the reticular activating system. And for those of you who don't know, the reticular activating system is a set of neurons that connects from the spinal cord to the thalamus. And pretty much it redirects information to the cerebral cortex. The cerebral cortex pretty much mirrors back to you whatever it is you've been thinking about. So here it is. I'm asking for a sign. I'm driving. And there are other examples of this. You're thinking of a car, and there's a particular car that I have on my mind right now. If I walk out, I know I'm going to see it. The minute I decided that eventually I'm going to own that type of vehicle, you start seeing it everywhere you go. No matter what you choose to hold as the rationale for this, whether it's scientifically backed up or even just based on your religion or just plain on synchronicity in the spiritual world, the universe is here to help you. God, divine order, whatever you call it, I don't care, is here to assist you. We're not doing this on our own. If you think about the reticular activating system, if there is something so magnificent in our brain that could mirror back to us on the external, what we have on our mind, there is a dimension where all things already exist. As a matter of fact, I tend to think right here on this earth, all our desires already exist. Why? Because anything that you can think of right now, it doesn't have to fall from the sky for you to get it. The gold that already exists on this planet, it's just not been discovered yet. A creation that is waiting to be manifested, everything that is needed for it exists in the here and now. We just have not realized it. So I want to encourage you. You don't even need to be in one. You don't need to be in one, because your brain, the universe, is all aware of what you need, and it's available. And if you're at the point where you're not yet in alignment with it, and what I mean by that is you're not yet at the place where you can even fathom what that looks like. There are some things for me, I still do not have an image as to what that looks like, but I know it's here. It already exists. One of the universal laws says, as above, so beneath. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It already exists. And so the job is for us to do the work so that those things can be realized by us. And what does that work look like? Depends on the phase that you're in. There are times when you're being called to be still. There are times when you're being called to take action. The biggest point that I want to leave with you is you're supported. You are not alone. The universe is here to back you up. And if you're at the point where you have not yet realized it, ask for a sign. By all means, ask for a sign. You could be specific with your sign too. I have asked for feathers. I have asked for a phone call. I have asked for just ask for a sign. Just ask for a sign, and all that's going to happen is that you're going to be supported. That sign is just a reflection back to you of what you've been thinking of, a reflection back to you of what is already existing in the non-physical, and I dare say in the physical for you. Have an awesome day. Bye.